My name is Nico Rosberg, and I'm going to talk to you about all my learnings from Formula One and how they're helping me to drive family wealth into the future. I grew up in a family where one of my parents was very, very successful. In this case, it was my dad. He was a Formula One world champion. And so growing up into that, and then especially trying to follow that same path and going into racing myself was really demanding at first, because so many people were watching me straight away from the get-go as a 10-year-old and were judging me and saying, okay, is he as good as his dad? It was a lot of pressure on me, a lot of expectation from everybody around, which at the same time was actually also an advantage because it gave me some opportunities that some others would not have gotten. But it was also a lot of pressure, which I had to learn to deal with from a very young age. It was a tough school, but I think in the end it made me more resilient eventually and really helped me to become world champion myself, which is quite incredible. Innovation is the key to value creation, essentially. We also see this excess of value creation in tech in the last decades and decades. That's where my strength was in racing. I was always trying to innovate, trying to improve my car, trying to find that next little step. And I've taken that passion now into business, where I really enjoy following the greatest innovation that's happening there, especially again in the startup world. When it comes to my wealth, we've done a very, very clear strategy which we've put in place. We know exactly what returns we're targeting. We know how we're going to allocate this wealth. We've gone into public equities because in the long run, that's just an asset class that is going to deliver you that 8-9% return, which is a really, really healthy return and great risk return profile also for the long run. Of course, it's volatile like in the short term, but if you have a 5 to 10 year horizon, which all of us young people at least, even middle-aged people should have at least, that's a great place to be in. And then it's the venture capital asset class, which is part of the private markets, where you can try to outperform those public equities if you do it well and if you get the right access and the right diversification. And we've set up Rosberg Philanthropies, where we deploy some of that wealth that we're generating to do good, to have impact. And then whether it's helping other people who are close to you or something, I think it's so important for all of us to keep that in mind, especially to be good role models for the next generation. Of course, sustainable investing is a big topic. I think it's so valuable if we can combine those returns with impact and with investing in the right way. And we see opportunities growing there more and more. I mean, for my portfolio, for example, even though the energy asset class has been the best performing asset class in the last couple of years, at some points, like we don't invest in oil companies, we don't invest in cigarette companies. We've put a block on those kind of things. And then going forward, I mean, also in the startup world, the most exciting investments are the ones that are most impactful, because it's just so great to be involved in those. And there's no compromise there in terms of returns. My daughters are 6 and 8, and we said, hey, let's make some bracelets and let's go out and sell them. And then with the proceeds, you can use half of them for your toy shop, buy whatever you want, but half of them we're going to give to charity. I really want to make sure to ingrain in them this importance of contributing. A basic human need, is to contribute. So for our next generation, for our kids, if they contribute in their lives, it will make them their own lives more happy, and that's why also I'm really, really focused on trying to support my kids down that path. If you yourselves are children from a big family dynasty or a big family business and are looking into the future towards, first of all, I would like to recommend that you listen to your feelings also and what your heart is telling you as to which direction to take in life, because I've seen so many examples also of children who've then gone the path of the expectation of the family, which is to join the family business, but perhaps they don't end up happy in that direction. So I really can't emphasize enough how important it is to choose a path that makes you happy. And then if you do follow the family business, be open to taking advice also from the people who are experienced and who've already been in that space.